ahead if that's cool with y'all. But yeah, just tonight, just have a quick, just a quick verse I wanted to share with you. It's out of the book of Micah, chapter 6, verse 8. It says, "He has told you, mortal one, what is good, and what does the Lord require of you, but to do justice, to love kindness, and to walk humbly with your God." When I think of leadership, it's a lot more than just making tough decisions. It's how we treat each other, how we listen, and how we serve. All right, let's pray. Heavenly Father, we're just so thankful and honored to be here tonight, here today. We just thank you for this town and for the people who give their time and energy to make this town thrive and succeed. I just pray for each person here tonight that you'd give them wisdom, discernment, clarity in their conversations. I pray that you would just guide their hearts, give them wisdom and their words and what they say and how they speak to one another. Just pray for wisdom to be able to decide and discern what's right. And I just pray that you would just guide their conversations, give them grace to show kindness and humility amongst each other as they speak to one another. I just pray that every choice and every decision that is made tonight will honor and glorify your name. We pray in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you.
I will call the April 15, 2025 council meeting to order at 7:01 and invite Mayor Stocks up to take his oath of office. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Robert Stocks.
Who have been elected. Mayor for the city of Watertown. Swear that I will support. The Constitution of the United States. And the Constitution of the state of Wisconsin. And will faithfully and impartially. Discharge the duties of this office. To the best of my ability. So help me God.
Right. Alderperson Dan Davis, can you come up here, please?
Repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Dana Davis,
Who have been elected. Alderperson of the first district. For the city of Watertown. Swear that I will support. The Constitution of the United States.
the Constitution of the United States,
The Constitution of the state of Wisconsin.
the Constitution of the state of Wisconsin,
And will faithfully and impartially. Discharge the duties of this office.
discharge the duties of this office
To the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability,
So help me God.
so help me God.
Alderman Kenberg.
Repeat after me.
I, Kenneth Berg,
Who have been elected.
Alderperson of the 3rd District
For the city of Watertown.
for the City of Watertown.
Swear that I will support.
Swear that I will support
The Constitution of the United States.
the Constitution of the United States.
Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and will faithfully and impartially discharge the duties of said office
discharge the duties of said office
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God. Thank you. Nick. Thank you.
Alderman Brad Blanky.
Right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Brad Blanky,
Who have been elected
who have been elected
alderperson of the 5th District
alderperson of the 5th District
for the City of Watertown,
for the City of Watertown,
swear that I will support
swear that I will support
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and will faithfully and impartially discharge the duties of this office
discharge the duties of this office
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Alderman Tony Arnett.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Tony Arnett,
Who have been elected
who have been elected
alderperson of the 7th District
alderperson of the 7th District
for the City of Watertown,
for the City of Watertown,
swear that I will support
swear that I will support
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and will faithfully and impartially
discharge the duties of this office
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Alderman Myron Moldenhauer.
I state your name.
I, Myron Moldenhauer,
Who
who have been elected
alderperson for the 9th District
alderperson for the 9th District,
for the City of Watertown,
City of Watertown,
swear that I will support
swear that I will support
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and will faithfully and
impartially
discharge the duties of this office
discharge the duties of this office
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my abilities,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Megan, can you take the roll, please?
Davis. Here. Lampy. Berg.
Here.
Bartz.
Here.
Blanky.
Here.
Smith.
Here.
Arnett.
Present.
Wetzel.
Here.
Moldenhauer.
Can you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. First on the agenda today is minutes from the council meeting for March 31st. There. Yes.
Move to approve.
Okay, a motion to approve.
Seconded.
Second by Alderman Berg. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, next we have election of the council president.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I nominate Fred Smith.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion by Arnett and a second by Berg for Fred Smith. Any other nominations?
Mayor,
Yes.
before I move the nominations, I move that nominations be closed and unanimous ballot be returned in favor of the sole nominee.
Second.
Second by, motion by Arnett, second by Blanky. Take a roll call, please.
Davis. Aye. Lampy.
Aye.
Berg.
Aye.
Bartz.
Aye.
Blanky.
Aye.
Smith.
Abstain.
Arnett.
Aye.
Wetzel. Moldenauer. Motion passed 8-0.
Okay. Next would be the election of planning commission member. Mr. Smith?
I'd like to nominate Alderman Blanky.
I'll second it.
Okay, motion by Smith, second by Berg for Blanky for planning commission. Anyone else? Any other further nominations?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Arnett. Mr.
I
Arnett?
move that nominations be closed and unanimous ballot be returned in favor of the sole nominee.
We have a motion. We have a second by Wetzel.
Second.
Okay, we'll take a roll call on this as well.
Smith.
Aye.
Aye.
Wetzel.
Aye.
Moldenauer. Davis. Lampy. Berg. Bartz. Blanky.
Abstain.
Motion passed 8-0.
Okay, next we have comments and suggestions from citizens present. We do also have public hearings, 3 of them coming up after, so if you're here for a public hearing, you can wait on that comment for the hearing. If you're here for anything else, please feel free to step up to the microphone. One right in the middle here. I see nobody online. Okay, I'll close public comment. There is public comment at the end of the meeting as well. Next, I'll open up public hearing for rezoning at 100 East Division Street. So in district to central business, going from central business to zoning district. Would anybody like to comment on that public hearing right now? I'll open it up. Yes, ma'am. Feel free to come up to the microphone.
My name is Pat Warner. I'm here with my children. We own the property directly across the street from Johnsonville. My biggest concern is parking. I believe it's, the project is way too big for the amount of parking that they are allowing. They've allowed 106 parking places, and with 68 apartments multiplied by two vehicles, that's 136 at least. With visitors, maybe a third driver, a teenage driver or something, you need more parking than that. Parking is at a real premium in that whole area. A lot of the streets only have one-sided parking. Around the school on Cole Street, where I live, 9.5 months of the year, St. Henry's school teachers and staff park that whole street full. That's a real problem. There's no parking on, available parking on 3rd Street because that's parked full with their apartments and houses. Division Street is parked full with those residences and houses. The little bar on the corner, the Tipsy Goose, they have no parking at all. I have a terrible time getting out of my driveway. My driveway's too short to even park in, but if I do pull into the garage and try and back out, if there's cars parked right next to my driveway and all the down 2nd Street on the end of the playground there, you can't even see. I mean, it's like I'm taking my life into my hands every time I try and back out. And if they don't provide enough parking, it's going to devalue my property, and the whole neighborhood is going to be in real trouble. It's just too big of a building there. I don't oppose something being built there, but not that big of a size. And there really needs to be a lot more parking, you know, if they're going to do that. You know, I worry about the river. You know, it's supposed to be family. I think, you know, in the paper it said something about the apartment's going to be a little over 2,000. Some of them 3-bedroom, 2-bedroom, 1-bedroom. It's just too big of a complex to fit there. And where are all these kids going to be playing? You know, I don't want somebody falling in the river either. I'm just very concerned about it.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hi, my name is Kara Pugh, and I'm here to talk about the Division Street development. First of all, congratulations to everybody. This is a real turning point for our city. I'm a small business owner in our community, and I'm sure all of you know the Main Street Bridge has affected us. Highway 16 has affected us, but I kind of feel like our city is starting to be at a turning point. We know Main Street is going to get closed. We have a new group of people in power here, and I just hope you choose to work with everybody. And I guess that's why I felt really like I had to talk today. I think one of the reasons why Watertown is struggling right now is, I know we have problems with parking, but we also have problems with lack of people. There just aren't enough people in our city right now to support our businesses, keep our schools paid for. We just failed to pass a referendum. And we don't have enough people in our places of eating, working. Our hospital lacks employees. And a lot of these people don't choose our city because we don't have housing. I'm not saying this is a perfect plan for housing, but this is an opportunity for housing. And it's going to fall on your shoulders to investigate this great opportunity for our city. Clearly there's a need for this housing in our city, or these men wouldn't be wanting to put money into our city. I know that this project has been social media criticized because it's considered not affordable housing. Well, guess what happens? When you bring people to town who can afford at-market rents, they might actually spend money in our businesses. Wouldn't that be great to have citizens who want to spend money in our businesses, stay in our town, support our schools? Maybe we could even pass a referendum. I live in the town of Ixonia. I live in the Watertown School District, but as you guys, you know who I am. I own multiple businesses in the community. I drive down Highway 16 to get here. Well, at least I used to. And on Highway 16, there's a sign, and it's a really unfortunate sign. It says, "Welcome to Watertown. Opportunity runs through it." It's the butt of many jokes. It runs in, and it runs right back out. And why I think this is a turning point is now, you could be the catalyst of change. Wouldn't it be great to change that sign for it to say, "Opportunity runs to it"? Not opportunity runs through it, not opportunity runs around it, but opportunity runs to it. And in order for opportunity to run to it, you got to take a chance with developers like this, people like David Schrader that want to bring opportunity to our city. But you have to trust, and you have to make some hard choices. And I recognize everybody wants affordable housing, but I'm a firm believer in high tide raises all ships. We're going to have a tax benefit from this that's going to support our schools, make us better schools, make better people coming out of our schools, make better businesses. High tide raises all ships. So, I guess that's where I'm going to leave you here, is that I ask for you to really consider this motion. I ask for you to allow them to put a development in this area. And I ask for you to allow the next person to put a development in this area. And if somebody comes to you with other ordinances, UTV, entertainment district, I don't know. But let's let opportunity run to it. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Good evening. My name is Sandra Trigo. I'm with Trio Architects, and I'm in favor of the concept of this project. However, there's some issues or some concerns I have, and one of those is actually the siting of the building. With the project being an L shape, which is perfect, I love the west side, but I'm not a fan of the north, simply because this is a 50-foot plus structure that is 10 feet off the property line of single-family residences. Everybody on the south side of Emerald Street is going to lose their daylight 24/7. And the other aspect, if you were to shift the north wing to the south side of the parcel, it's going to benefit your sight lines, because with the north wing overlooking the neighbors, one of the businesses you're looking over is Northern Trails meat processing. So everybody on the north side of the building is going to have perfect sight lines to the carcass bin. And I don't know that that's really going to be marketable. And in order to make this particular structure work better for the community and for the site, I think it would make sense to just reconsider nuancing some things, and flipping things around so that the building is sited so it's not blocking the neighbors' sunlight. And it would be important that it's going to improve the marketability of the building. They're going to be able to control their sight lines with this phase one and the possibility of more structures down the way. And I think it's important for the scale of the neighborhood not to have a structure 50 feet tall adjacent to a single family home that's 20, 25 feet tall. It's all about scale and fitting in the fabric of the neighborhood. And if you were just simply, not as simple as flipping the building, but if you were to look at moving the north wing to the south side, you would actually accomplish a lot of things that I think could benefit the community. It benefits the developers in terms of making their parcels, making their units more marketable. I would hate for them to come in here, build a building as it is, block the sunlight, and then not be able to sell the units on the north side of the north wing because of the sight lines. And I want to see this be a successful project for Watertown, because we do need it. And as she said, opportunity should run to it. And at this point, it's working, it's getting there, but I think there's still a lot of possibilities and potential for the community as a whole. And I think this is a huge first step in that right direction. When you put this together with the downtown redevelopment and the Riverwalk, this is actually one aspect that's going to anchor the north end of the Riverwalk. And I think it becomes a destination. And we're developing pedestrian traffic, which is going to bring in more people, more business, and really just revitalize the downtown community. So I love the concept, got some issues with the siting, but overall I think this would be a win if we can address, the 50-foot building being 10 feet off the neighbors. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else for the public hearing? Seeing none, I'll close the one going from general business zoning district to central business, and then open up the public hearing for rezoning both, going from a plan development overlay district to a general development plan, precise developmental plan. You want to speak on that one? Seeing none, I'll close that public hearing and open up the third one to amend Chapter 550 zoning code regarding the central business apartments land use. I'll then close that public hearing as well. We'll go to the next section on reports. I'd like to let everybody know that's in attendance that we are going to closed session a little further in the meeting. When that does happen, I'll ask everyone to exit the room. You're more welcome to wait outside. The doors will close. However long that closed session takes. When it's over, we'll reopen the doors and you can feel free to come back in. if you don't want to come back in, just go back home, that's fine too, but you're more welcome to come back in here too, once it's over. For reports, we have licensing board minutes from March 12th, Town Square Programming Commission minutes from March 19th, Finance Committee meetings from March 24th, Planning Commission minutes from March 24th, Downtown Main Street Reconstruction Task Force minutes from the 25th, and Public Work minutes from April 8th. Does anybody have any questions or comments about that? Alderman Berg?
Yeah, Mayor Stocks, I just want to give a compliment to our city involving TID 4 because I was on the council when we created that. We thankfully got Clausen from Middleton, and they became a huge, unbelievable success story for our city. And we're retiring that TID in a good, positive way with almost $2 million of increment that we now can use in ways that can benefit our town. And I'm just, we need to look at the assets that we have, and this is an industrial base that was created with that incentive of the TIF. It's been a huge success. Clausen, everybody knows the benefit as far as valuation and the number of jobs and everything about that company and others that are within that TID that we can be proud of. And it's closing on a good note with money that we now can have available for reinvestment. I see that you've got roughly $840,000 earmarked for some infrastructure project, but it leaves us about $900,000 to discuss further. And I'm glad to be on the Finance Committee. I see some of the recommended suggestions, and I just want to encourage that we look at that list carefully and use the money wisely.
Alderman Lampy?
Thank you. I do want to build a little bit on what Alderman Berg had to say. The reference is on page 15 of everybody's packet. It's item 10. It talks about the TID 4 increment. Of course, 840 is going to the Rock River Ridge infrastructure, and then the rest were basically allocated at that March meeting. So I guess my clarification question to the finance director is, at what point in the approval process, since this will require a budget amendment to either lock in what was approved at that meeting or carry it forward, where are we in that process?
The next step would be for me to craft the budget modification based on what Finance Committee had decided upon at its last meeting. And so that would be on the docket for the next council meeting.
Thank you.
Anybody else on any of the reports? Okay, you move on to the next one. Communication recommendations. Watertown Fire Department monthly report for February. Any questions or comments on that? Okay. Second one is the 2025 assessment process. Yes, Alderman Berg.
Yeah, I was actually not on the council, but I was aware of our city going from Associated Appraisal to Accurate Appraisal. I was not a fan of this company for a lot of reasons, and I think in the time they've been here, I haven't been impressed with their performance. I see that their contract is coming up here soon, and I'm hoping we look at that company critically before we potentially keep them on board as a continuation of our assessment company for Watertown.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay.
Mayor?
Yes, sorry. Alderman Lampy?
Yes, again, I want to ask a follow-up for Alderman Berg here. The memo, and I'm over on page 31 at this point, basically says that we're contracted through the period of 2025.
Right.
So the clarification I'm looking again from the finance director is, are we locked contractually with this assessor through 2025?
Yes, the period of time is through December of 25.
Okay, so potentially if we're looking at a change in assessors, that would apply to 2026? Unless we
Correct.
took extraordinary action?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else? Alderman Blanky?
That raises a question as to when we would make a decision on a new assessor. Would we make that sooner or later?
The RFP is something that I plan on working on in the summer months, and then it would be coming to finance probably in the early fall for that decision to be made before December 31st.
move on to new business then, if there's no further comments. All right, new business, council committee assignments.
For adoption of the appointments.
A motion by Berg, second by Smith. Any comments? Alderman Berg?
I want to compliment our mayor, our new mayor, for being a good listener. I did ask for hopefully going on the RDA, the Redevelopment Authority, and you were obviously allowing me to that opportunity. I was on there 2 years before. That's a very important committee from my view on helping to promote our city in a positive way and to help encourage development within our city. So I'm thankful. I also look at this new council, and I'm nothing but impressed with the variety of backgrounds and the experience we have on this council to help our new mayor, who's going to be relying on us to provide direction and support. And I think we've got nothing but positives in what I'm looking at, and I'm just thankful to be a member of.
Anybody else? Alderman Smith?
Yes, this is more of a procedural point, but in the recent past, we have been doing voice votes on mayoral nominations and appointments. Historically, though, we have held roll call votes on those nominations, and that is permissible under the Roberts rules, and historically it has been the way that we have proceeded with those important nominations, and I would request that in this instance that we would hold a roll call vote and for other nominations in the future.
Okay, so noted. Alderman Berg?
One other comment. I did look at the different committees and the assignments of alderpersons on, but I didn't see reference, unless I overlooked it, the one committee that is involving Main Street reconstruction for 2028. I'm aware that I'm on that committee, but did I miss it on the letter information? Under the Main Street. Okay. Because I got my list of names, and
So we have a Main Street task force, but it's currently listing Alderman Moldenhauer and Arnett.
Okay. There's a Main Street and there's a Main Street task force, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, that's on the first page, and then the two that are part of the task force are on the second page.
Okay. I had to reach out to somebody because some of those 8 o'clock in the morning ones are kind of tough to fill, so. Any other question or concerns on the committee assignments? We'll do a roll call on that when no one has any more questions. Okay, Megan?
Berg,
aye.
Bartz,
Aye.
Blanky,
Aye.
Smith,
Aye.
Arnett, Wetzel, Moldenhauer, Davis, Lampy. Motion passed 9-0.
Okay, we'll plan a roll call on the next one, but committee appointments, is there any, kind of talked a little bit, but anybody have questions, comments about that? Alderman Lampy?
I would just move to appoint Lyndon Kesey to the Town Square Programming Commission as stated in the memo.
Second that.
Okay. Motion by Lampy, second by Davis. And we'll do a roll call on that one too then.
Lampy, Berg,
Aye.
Bartz, Blanky,
Aye.
Smith, Arnett,
Aye.
Wetzel, Moldenhauer, Davis. Motion passed 9-0.
Okay. With that then, we'll convene the closed session. And if I can ask everyone to step out of the room for a little bit and. Well,
Smith?
yeah. Oh, sorry, okay.
Second.
Motion by Arnett, second by Berg to move into closed session. Roll call.
we'll need to do a roll call vote, yes, but we also have to state the reason that's printed on the agenda
Okay.
for going into closed session.
Convening in closed session per statute 19.85 to confer with legal counsel for the governmental body who is regarding oral or written advice concerning strategy be adopted by the body with respect to litigation in which it is or is likely to become involved. Good enough? Claim of Christopher O'Brien. Okay. All the roll call, please.
Burnett?
Aye.
Wetzel? Moldenhauer?
Aye.
Davis? Lampy? Berg?
Aye.
Bartz?
Aye.
Blanky?
Aye.
Smith?
Aye.
Motion passed 9-0.
reconvene back in the open session. Do I have a motion? Oh, go back in, sorry. Okay, let's take a roll call again to go back in.
We're in open session.
Okay. Motion by Alderman Lampy.
Aye, the claim by Christopher O'Brien.
Okay, and a second by Davis. Okay, any further discussion? Okay, take the roll, please, Megan.
Lampy?
Aye.
Berg?
Aye.
Bartz? Blanky?
Aye.
Smith?
Aye.
Arnett?
Aye.
Wetzel?
Aye.
Moldenhauer?
Aye.
Davis? Motion passed 9-0.
Okay, next we have miscellaneous business. The payroll summary March 5th through 18th, paid invoices report March 2025, and cash investments March 31st, 2025. Any questions or comments on that? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to licenses. Licensing memo to council. Okay. Part B, application for a Class B malt and liquor license from Golden Spoon. Alderman Blanky.
I'll make a motion to approve the license for the Golden Spoon with the noted conditions.
Yeah. Second with no other conditions.
They're at the top of the memo. And the passing of city inspections.
Yeah, I believe B and C are both the same. Okay, all those in favor, any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? I believe,
Ken seconded.
okay. Next, application for a Class B malt and liquor license for 3RD STP&G LLC, DBA 3rd Street Pub, with conditional approval for inspection.
I'll move for adoption.
Motion by Berg. Second by Bartz. Discussion?
This also is with conditions, I believe. So the motion should be for approval upon completion and the passing of the city inspections.
Yeah, I'll amend my motion to reflect that.
With the reflection of passing inspection, okay. And second Bartz, okay. Okay, any more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, next D, we have application for temporary Class B license for the Whiskey and Wine Walk event hosted by Watertown Chamber of Commerce on April 26, 2025, for the hours between 1 and 4:30.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Bartz, second by Moldenhauer. Any discussion? Okay. Seeing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. E, application for temporary Class B license for the Benzine Family Town Square Summer Concert Series starting on June 21st, sponsored by Watertown Rotary Club.
I'll move for adoption.
Motion by Berg,
Second.
second by Blanky. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, application for a temporary Class B license for Benzine Family Town Square Summer Concert Series on September 26th. Sorry, September 6th, 2025, sponsored by Watertown Rotary Club.
Move for approval.
Motion by Blanky, second by Moldenhauer. Okay, discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, last one, application for operator's license from Jessica Reyes. Alderman Smith?
I would move for the denial of the application for the operator's license, specifically because of falsification on the application that had been submitted.
Okay, we have a motion.
I'll second it.
Second by Berg. Discussion. Roll call on. Okay, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Okay. Next, we got ordinances. Ordinance 2506, amend Chapter 500-62, Vehicles and Traffic, sponsored by Alderman Davis from the Public Safety and Welfare Committee, on its second reading. Alderman Davis,
I'll move for ordinance 25-06.
second. Second by Bartz. Any discussion? Okay. Roll, please, Megan.
Davis.
Aye.
Lampy.
Aye.
Berg.
Aye.
Bartz. Blanky. Smith. Arnett. Wetzel. Moldenhauer. Motion passed 9-0.
Okay, next we have ordinance 25-07, adopt amendments to the 2019 City of Watertown Comprehensive Plan for 2020 Wilbur Street and 2020 West Main Street to reflect that the future land use categories shown from institutional to two-family residential, the future land use map of the comprehensive plan pursuant to section 66.1001, Wisconsin statute. Brought to us by our former mayor and the planning commission on its second reading.
Mayor, just a clarification, it's 1220 Wilbur Street and 1220 West Main Street. I think you said 2020.
1220 and 1220. Thank you, Ms. Davis. Okay. Okay, motion by Alderman Wetzel,
Second?
second by Alderman Blanky. Any discussion? Okay, take the roll, please, Megan.
Wetzel. Moldenhauer.
Aye.
Davis. Lampy.
Aye.
Berg.
Aye.
Bartz. Blanky.
Aye.
Smith.
Aye.
Arnett.
Aye.
Motion passed 9-0.
Okay. Next on resolutions, Exhibit 9735, resolution to approve vending contract with Lake Country Vending, sponsored by Alderman Lampy from the Finance Committee. Alderman Lampy,
Or 9735.
a motion. Second by Ms. Davis. Okay, any discussion? Alderman Lampy.
I'd like to invite the finance director to tell us why we have this on the agenda as a $0 exchange.
Well, it was sponsored by Alderman Lampy, so he'd be the one to ask. It's just a matter of, we've got a vending machine company that is taking their business elsewhere, and so this is a replacement.
Is the reason, Attorney Cheesebro, because it's a contract?
It's partially because it's a contract. It's also because there's a city ordinance that requires that vending in a public space be approved by council or by Parks Commission. So it
Thank
didn't
you.
seem appropriate to have Parks dictate what occurred in City Hall.
Good reason.
Okay. Any further discussion or comments? Okay, take a roll then, Megan.
Lampy.
Aye.
Berg.
Aye.
Bartz.
Aye.
Blanky. Smith.
Aye.
Arnett.
Aye.
Wetzel. Moldenhauer.
Aye.
Davis.
Aye.
Motion passed 9-0.
Okay, next we have Exhibit 9736, resolution to amend the employee handbook of policies and procedures related to the group health insurance changes, sponsored by former mayor and finance committee. Ms. Davis.
Make a motion for Exhibit 9736.
Okay, motion by Davis,
Second.
second by Bartz. Any discussion or comments?
Can there be a bit of a clarification, or maybe just a summary of the changes that are in the resolution that they're asking us to approve?
The modifications in our group health insurance were effective January 1. The basic summary is that we moved from Wisconsin ETF as our supplier to separate plan through Dean Healthcare. These modifications never got moved or modified in our handbook, so these are just changes that are effective January 1. There is no cost at this point in time. This is already what's been in place effective January 1.
Any further comment or suggestions? Okay. Megan?
Davis.
Aye.
Lampy. Berg.
Aye.
Bartz.
Aye.
Blanky. Smith.
Aye.
Arnett.
Aye.
Wetzel. Moldenhauer. Motion passed 9-0.
Okay. Last exhibit 9737, a resolution to approve the wildlife management agreement sponsored by Alderwoman Davis and the Public Safety and Welfare Committee.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Davis, second by Lampy. Any questions or comments? Mr. Bartz first.
Just wondering if we're paying for this service? Doesn't say anything.
Mr. Cheesebro?
I can address that. There is no fee for this service. The individual that provides the service will be taking the animals in exchange for the service that they're providing.
It's a good deal.
Mr. Lampy?
Just wanted to offer, since I get comments, and I'm sure other alders do as well, on deer within the city. I mean, DNR's got its deer management survey up online right now. So just do a search for DNR Wisconsin Deer Management Survey, and you can send in your comments about how the herd's being managed here, there, everywhere.
Okay. Any other comments? Okay. Megan?
Davis. Aye. Lampy.
Aye.
Berg.
Aye.
Bartz. Blanky. Smith. Arnett. Wetzel. Moldenhauer.
Aye.
Motion passed 9-0.
Okay. Next, we have comments and suggestions from any citizens present. Okay. Having none, I'll look for motion to adjourn. Motion by Bartz, second by Moldenhauer. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, thank you.
Nice job, Mayor.